rock, they got it all. Rage quitting, head banging, it's a metal brawl. Mental meltdown, giving in flames. Chris and Henrik bringing the thunderous rage. Video games and viral content. Better games, ripping through pixels, the ultimate game to get around. The ultimate. Rave over, I'm feeling the rage. Chris Collins and Henrik on the stage, talking gaming news. Industry that can't escape, reviewing video games. No need to debate. They bring the heat, spitting truth non-stop with fiery words. They're ready to drop, making waves in the world of video games. Collins and Henrik, they don't play no games. From console wars to DLC scales, they expose it all, making sure no one jails. The audience fired up, ready to explode. When rage quits on, you know it's a code. You know it's a code. When rage quits on, you know it's a code. Rage quits. Rage quits. I'm losing my mind. Chris and Henrik, they're talking gaming all the time. Rage quits. Rage quits. It's a love-hate affair, but I keep coming back. Ain't nothing else to compare. Rage quit. It's a love-hate affair.
What's raging, gamers? Welcome to Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show. How you doing, HenricK the Wreck?
You know me, Chris. I'm here. I'm ready to rage. Are you ready to rage?
Oh, come on now. We got such a jam-packed show for everybody that's tuning in live, whether it is YouTube, Twitch, or Meta. And you know how it goes, HenricK. We always like to start off the show with the bang and show you guys a lot of viral content that is circulating all across the World Wide Web. So let's get it. The NFL is back, which also means it's time for another Madden release because nothing says football season like athletes complaining about themselves. So case in point, Arizona Cardinals rookie Walter Nolan is not a fan of his Madden avatar. I think we've all been there, HenricK, right? When it comes to the NBA 2K, try to make your player, you send in, your photos, and then you're like, who the hell is that guy? Well, it doesn't really help when your family's over-the-top hype makes this reaction that much more better. So let's go ahead and take a look.
What'd you say, babe?
You get very interested.
That's you. Yeah, that's that's you, man. That's Daddy? Look, that's Daddy?
Him and his family is cooking him.
That looked like a Marshawn Lynch Teletubby. That man did not look like that, Madden character. I'm kind of with them. I would get myself a little salty. Like, if that was a college football game, that's one thing, but I'm sure they brought all the fancy gear, to put you around all those thousands of cameras, and you're like, come on, man. You could at least get my face done good. Everything else you can hide, in a sense. But that, come on. But let's dive right on into the comments. Get your stats up first, and then you get a face scan. Oh, so rookies don't get afforded that opportunity. Only maybe the ones that they believe will actually, get some play time? I mean, what does that even mean? I mean, is it only going to be close for a rookie like a Tennessee Titans Cam Ward, the #1 pick? Is he the only one, Henrik, that gets the perfect face scan, and then the other guys are like, yeah, sorry, we'll see you in the long yard? What's going on?
I guess so, yeah.
Right?
No, you're not at that level yet.
Well, this man looks like Exhibit. Yeah, that's kind of funny. And then
put a face
Isaiah
scan in your face scan.
Right.
I know you like face scans.
But isn't this hilarious? Isaiah Likely and Mike Green got the same face scan, too, and they on the same team. So there clearly is a default Madden character, and yeah, you don't get necessarily too hyped for your rookie season through Madden. Just make sure you show up and show out every single week on that football Sunday, and trust me, you will eventually get that face scan done properly. But you know what's also a celebration, something that I know a lot of gamers are like, wow, I can't believe this is real life. Pinch me. Yes, I'm still here. Sony and PlayStation fans are basically doing backflips now that Xbox and Microsoft have finally let Gears of War crash their party. And this remastered OG classic comes packing with the 4K visuals, HDR, and multiplayer at up to 120 frames per second, which is basically making it prettier than your last vacation photos. Yes, we all know you got those blurry ones. Sometimes we don't want to remember the good times. But don't get too comfy, because the campaign can still throw some curveballs, and you never know who's lurking around the corner, as this PS5 gamer found out the hard way.
It's all too ready.
All
too ready.
You're like, what is this? Like, I mean, how fast did they think our pulses were to the the triggers back then? You know what I mean? Like, that really brought me back to the Xbox 360 days. I mean, this is very archaic, and yeah, I mean, there's definitely always somebody lurking within the shadows or a trench gun. But then the Punisher and Rivals be like,
yeah, I've seen many clips. And even just people in general who stick in the turret way too long.
Oh, I do know a buddy that's all he plays as, because it's like, okay, we get it, we're playing a superhero game, but you don't have to always bring the gun life to every single game. And then I was just playing that one drone really be on that. So, you gotta love those kind of things where they just don't take away some of the magic that was so special even during the Xbox 360 era. It's only more amplified in very pretty pixels.
Yeah, exactly. You got to keep it the same way it was.
I love it. And then top tier game, everyone should play it. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely very affordable for $40. Can't go wrong with that. And I know people be playing it a lot right now. But this is one of the more weirder stories, I would say, that's kind of circulating across the world, where Fortnite's kinkiest players are apparently losing it after Epic Games quietly neutered some of the freakiest emotes. And now moves like Bring It Around and Ride the Pony got canceled. if you're too close to other players. So much for teabagging, like in the days of Halo, or just so much for grinding on another friend's avatar. Instead, your character just kind of awkwardly stands there and shakes their head like a disappointed parent watching high schoolers dance on prime night. Yeah, we all know. Don't want to be that parent when I grow up and raise kids. Just have fun. Go out there, do your thing. I don't need to be there to custodian everything. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at all the anarchy that's gotten some people ruffled under their feathers.
Bro, why can't I emote? I can't emote! What the fuck? I can't emote! I can't emote! Oh my god.
I can't emote!
Crashing out too. He's like, they disabled it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that's probably the thing to do. But you know what? Let's go ahead and dive into the comments before I start saying something that probably a gamer said across the world. So let's get it. As someone with over 100 emote wheel pages, you've accomplished nothing, Epic Games. Trust. Do you feel like, you know, that was something that needed to be addressed quietly behind the scenes, HenricK, or do you feel like it's like people will find their ways to get another trend going online?
It's a cat and mouse game because there's always going to be an issue where you get rid of this, and people will just find some other way to bring something into being a problem. Maybe even something that's innocuous, you know? And it can develop a culture around it, like, oh, I'm going to use this emote, and it means this thing that it actually doesn't even look like it means.
What is this, though? The NFL? The No Fun League? You know? But then again, I understand with, like, memes like this, Fortnite 1 and then 0 for Roblox. Like, yeah, maybe this was a move because of so much pressure that's been happening with the video game Roblox. I mean, shoot, when you get Chris Hansen that gets involved and he's starting to talk to other victims that have, you know, been, you know, harassed by other gooners on that platform. I mean, a sandbox game like Roblox definitely has to have a lot more restrictions when it comes to just allowing just an ungodly amount of youth to be exposed to really cringy ass games that are showing up on your feed, like the Diddy Party or just you name it. I mean, go stick to grow in a garden, I suppose. And then the last comment that we got here is, what happened to the game I loved? So, like, people feel like it's like, dude, it's just a game. Like, you do not have to, you know, censor every kind of little dance and emote. And I mean, I guess that is a kind of a fair point too, right? I mean, Fortnite does have guns. You know, you probably shouldn't have your kids playing a game that you don't feel like they should be shooting up each other, right? It's that kind of a thing. But then I make a joke about the No Fun League. I mean, this year they are really cracking down on football players if they do the little point with the gun, but I guess you could do the arrow like Travis Kelce does. The pew 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 is not okay. But what happens if you're like, first down? Like, who's gonna throw the flag first? I want to know. I mean, this is gonna be insane. But hey, let's get back to speaking on all things gaming. You know, the gamers, we can't thank you enough for always joining us live every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because without your support, gamers, this show would not be possible. And for anybody that's not following us on YouTube, this QR code will lead you directly to the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a live show.
And you see this QR code right here? Well, this goes to my YouTube channel where there's tons of awesome content just waiting. So go watch them. Leave some comments for me.
That's right. And we got a jam-packed show for everybody that's tuning in live, whether it's YouTube, Twitch, or Meta. And that's right. Get active. Join along in the chat because, you know, this show wouldn't be possible without you guys. We always love the comments, as we also see from the homeboy Brandon. Love Gears of War. So clearly people are excited for the multi-platform movement, and we'll see whether or not the console wars are truly dead or not. So that's why you got to stick around. We might be visiting that topic of conversation. But for now, HenricK the Wreck, are you ready to rock and roll, my friend?
Oh, yes. Go ahead and let's take a dive into the ocean, because this is our chance to talk about Sword of the Sea.
That's
and pause
right.
to repeat.
Don't get caught in the undertow now.
Hey everyone, this is Pause or Repeat. Here we figure out whether a game is really worth your time and money. Today's game is Sword of the Sea. You've seen hoverboards, but have you seen hover swords? Sword of the Sea is a game from developer Giant Squid. They are previously known for an artistic approach to games through their other two games, Abzu and The Pathless. So can we expect another artistic rendition with this one? Let's start to go over the gameplay and find out. The gameplay of Sword of the Sea is all about traversal and exploration. Your hover sword is your way to get across the boundless sea of sand as you explore the world. What is your objective? The game is not very in your face about telling you what to do with words. Instead, it shows you. Your goal is to traverse the sands and find places to interact with in order to bring back the sea and all its life to the lifeless desert. Doing this usually requires some sort of puzzle and opens up more pathways to more puzzles. It's very akin to the gameplay loop of older 3D platformers. The twist being that you're doing all of this while in your hover sword and being stylish while you're at it. But where does the story fit into this? As I had mentioned, we're bringing back the ocean. You play as the Wraith, who has been resurrected to fulfill his goal of bringing back the ocean to the seemingly endless sands. The story is told without words and only through visuals and context, but this makes every environment and cutscene captivating in its own way. That being said, is there more to this than there first appears to be? But now the question still stands. Pause or repeat?
All right, we gotta bring the concept of hover swords into more things, because I mean, regardless of how you feel about the game, is that not a really cool concept? Just have a sword that you can ride it on.
Yeah, I'm with you, HenricK. I mean, first you're shredding dunes, and then you're carving waves. I mean, Sword of the Sea takes gamers on an aquatic adventure, but more sand in your shoes, I would say. I mean, 1 minute you're reviving ecosystems, the next you're riding dolphins to sharks like your Aquaman, competing in the X Games. I mean, yeah, I think more games should explore what this studio has brought to life with Sword of the Sea.
Yes, and the studio is known for this kind of game where it's like really aesthetic, like colorful, punchy colors, and really visually tells the story more than anything else. But at the same time, is the game only just aesthetic more than substance, or is it actually got some gameplay to it? What do you think, Chris?
Well, yeah, I felt like when I was playing this game, you definitely want to immerse yourself in a dark setting, in your living room, turn all the lights off. The music composition in this video game is fantastic. It really kind of immerses you with the flow of
actually,
the surfing
speaking
sand.
on the music, sorry to cut you off, but speaking on the music, actually reminded me, and this is a compliment, a little bit of like the Nier Automata music, which is great. I mean, that it's like that abstract, almost like speaking different foreign ancient languages sort of aesthetic, or rather listening experience in the for the music, and I love that. It fits the tone of the game entirely.
Yeah, especially with the atmosphere. I mean, as you explore these different regions of the sea, I suppose. I mean, yeah, you're playing as Wraith, who is surfing sand, but then eventually, the dunes, turn into water, and then suddenly you're riding an emerald oceans like, Poseidon would. And I think that's like what's really, really cool. I think I can only view as Poseidon riding a hover sword moving forward. I mean, you're going to be building momentum. You're going to launch off waves, and then eventually you'll unlock the real ocean beneath the desert. But, this was something that I kept thinking about you, HenricK, knowing that you are a PC gamer. And like I felt like, using the hoverboard felt very, very smooth when you're playing on a PS5 controller, which I highly recommend is the best way to experience Sword of the Sea because of the haptic feedback instead of smacking your keys or your fingers on the keyboard, right? I mean, although I was
using a controller, but
yeah, but you don't got that haptic
controller
experience.
Doesn't have the haptics.
You do not have that experience, right? And so, like, yeah, I feel like though that's where I feel like the next part kind of kicks in. I feel like the gameplay for myself, because I've been really excited for this game for quite some time since the debut trailer, was a bit underwhelming. And it pains me to say that because the pacing leans more towards like a vibe out than an arcade challenge. But, pulling off those like big air over shifting dunes is still ridiculous. ridiculously satisfying, as much as it didn't fulfill my expectations. Because, like, let's put it this way. I mean, especially when you start, looking at, the trophy collection, on the PS5, and then they're like, hey, why don't you do the challenge where you can get, like, 20 combos? Dude, all you have to do is just jump on a jellyfish and start moving your controller like, hold it L1, triangle, circle, square. Oh, jump onto another jellyfish to reset it. But it's like, I felt like they didn't focus enough on the tricks, which is what I really felt like this game was going to be all about, not just kind of surfing around and doing, like, I don't know. It felt very toddler-esque style of gameplay, which
no, I'm right there with you. I did feel like the trick system was a little gimmicky. I mean, yeah, there's the moments where you go and do the challenges where you have to hit a high score. They never were really that challenging, though.
Super
I always
easy.
felt like I got the high
easy.
score broken in the first, like, 20 seconds of the 1 minute they gave me.
Yeah.
So it was never really like, oh, okay, the tricks actually matter. It was more of like, the tricks are just there to have something to do while you're traveling to the next
Well, they wanted
puzzle.
to create, like, this, like, store system, and they're like, sweet, you collected enough, like, golden shards, and now you can go talk to the fat guy, and he'll give you more, tricks. And it's like, that guy, you can tell, never rode on a hover sword. So why do I have to pay him to tell me how to do a flip when I already know how to go flying in the air? It's just like, those kind of things are a little gimmicky. I mean, I get it's all about the speed, the flips, and the flow, and yeah, you're going to be riding ramps, wall ride ruins, and launch flips off of massive sand waves that get resurrected to restore the lost sea and uncover some of the ancient culture. But, like, yeah, then, like, all this might sound epic to you, and don't be fooled by the visionary, artistic flow with this game, because, like, the story, I gotta say, HenricK, it just pains me, because it just felt like I was reading a Hooked on Phonics lesson for pre-K students. I mean, it was so simple, so direct, and sometimes just so plain goofy. Like, I felt like they were trying to teach me the difference between water and fire. And I'm like, how many times have we heard this story? Pokemon, Avatar. It's like, come on. Like, put at least some kind of, I don't know, leave me a cliffhanger, something. I mean, I didn't care a less every time I read a ruin. And I know you always make that joke when it comes to, like, the style of Skyrim games, for example. Like, I never want to read a book. Well, you kind of feel like you want that in Sword of the Sea, and it's just, it totally misses. And then, like, I didn't understand the whole, like, taking off the face. I'm just going there. I'm sorry, guys. It's under 3-hour game. You guys will be able to beat it. I mean, that was another thing too, HenricK, that surprised me. I was so shocked when I beat the game in 2 hours, and then I was like, why is there a trophy achievement to beat the game under 3 hours? And then I'm like, oh, they designed it to be a game under 3 hours. I was like, no. Like, that, it was a total buzzkill. I was actually completely upset.
Like I was saying, the game, it unfortunately feels like it is more aesthetic than it is actual substance.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, the aesthetic is great. It's really captivating visually, but then that's all it is. That's kind of where it ends. Like, you get these great landscapes to go look at, and these moments that are pretty cool, like grinding on chains, but at the end of the day, you don't really end up feel like you're doing anything.
Yeah, and, like, a lot of these challenges were, to me, I just felt like it lacked so much. Like, it could have gone way further. I mean, why do
I was actually thinking while playing it, because like I was saying with the tricks also, I felt it was gimmicky. I felt it didn't have enough focus on it.
HenricK,
I was almost feeling like they could have done a Tony Hawk style thing for the
very
storytelling,
much, or SSX,
where it's open world rather than missions. But it's like, hey, in order to unlock this door, you got to do such and such trick to get this area unlocked, and then there you go. There's so much more that they could have done with it.
Instead of being like, why don't you circle around all these lanterns and turn the flame on? Or like, hey, why don't you get this water goop and go float over there towards the tortoise that's in the sea and feed it with his mouth open, and then the door will open. It was like, it's cool. You get to ride a shark to a dolphin and all that kind of fun thing. But I don't know. Yeah, Sword of the Sea is beautiful, but very shallow. I mean, short enough to platinum before dinner and not nearly as exciting as the setup. And yeah, it might be worth checking out for the visuals, like you were saying, HenricK. But for the gameplay wise, like for myself personally, like this ride doesn't quite stick the landing. So Sword of the Sea is a pause. I'm curious on what your verdict is.
Yeah, it's a pause for me as well. It's one of those games I feel is going to be praised for the visuals, but when it comes to whether I would recommend buying this, well, if you get it on a humble choice, or if it's in like a deal where it's a few dollars, absolutely pick it up because it's never going to feel and look the same as it does in a video. It's going to always look better when you actually play it, but don't go out there and spend your money on it expecting a full great experience because you're not going to get that.
See, I feel like you're being a lot nicer about it. I'm like, to me, I'm like, no, I was totally disappointed. I'll just be quite frank. I'm totally disappointed. I felt like they were going to do so much more. I was shocked when like I opened up the PS5 like main menu because I wanted to see where I was progressing. Like when I finally learned my first trick move, and it said I was 62% way through the game. I was like 62% of the way through, and I finally learned my first trick move. That ain't cool. That ain't cool. But then again, we want to know from you, the gamers, is Sword of the Sea a pause to play something new or a repeat for endless fun? But man, we got so much more here left on Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show. So HenricK, are you ready to rock and roll, my friend?
Oh yeah, let's pull out those guns because we're about to fire some shots.
Let's get it, baby. See you on the kill cam. What's good, listeners? Welcome to Patch Notes, where my co-host HenricK and I discuss gaming news, industry talk, and so much more. Let's get it. September 2025 just showed up like it's hosting the E3 all by itself. Trying to pick a top 3 games to play this month is like choosing your favorite online squad mate, and we all know that not everyone makes the cut. Sorry, buddy. But August gave us, quite a decent lineup, but let's be honest, it was mostly ports and remasters and deja vu. Now, September shows up with a full course feast of fresh titles ready to feed every gamer's genre cravings. So the first one that we gotta highly recommend for all the gamers out there is Borderlands 4 is back to remind you that yes, there are still more guns that Gearbox hasn't shoved into this series. They sped up the action, they reworked the loot system, and swear they toned down the toilet humor, which is about as believable as Claptrap suddenly becoming useful, right, HenricK? And so let's see if the trailer proves them right. Let's go ahead and take a look.
I really hope they did actually learn from their mistakes of 3 and take what they learned and apply that to this game because I would like there to be another good Borderlands game and not
It looks
the
so
last
much
one
fun.
being 2.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. I feel like this game looks fantastic. I can't wait to join along with that co-op experience and just get on and play a really good campaign story online with friends. I feel like there hasn't been a lot of those kind of style of games around recently, and maybe Borderlands 4 can encourage other developers to follow along their footsteps and to start to implement more of this kind of style of gameplay. I mean, yeah, we got the Elden Ring Night Rain, but like I think Borderlands 4 is like totally something different, and I don't know. I guess I'm speaking for myself, HenricK, but
Well,
I think
it's a shooter, Chris.
the
compared
point
to
I was trying to
Elden Ring Night Rain is
well,
not.
right, but the point that I wanted to make is I think we all would like to see the Borderlands series make a bounce back after that horrendous movie launch. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I think we all want to totally forget about it, and Borderlands 4 has that opportunity to completely sway gamers back into this world. And are you buzzing about it? Are you hyped? Are you going to be one of those guys that jumps on day one? Or are you going to be like, I maybe I'll just kind of let people ride the wave.
I'm-
Actually, you probably won't even have
I'm-
some time because you're gonna be having some fun.
That's
pretty
true.
soon.
I will be out of town, but I mean, I'm tempering my expectations. I'm not like super excited for it, but I'm like, this could be good.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
feel like 8 months ago I wasn't so hyped about it, but as it's starting to get closer and closer, it's like I want to live the glory days of the PS3 era. You know what I mean? And Borderlands kind of helped make that happen. And so if Borderlands 4 launches to a great success, you already know, a lot of gamers are going to have some fun with it. And if you want to join along for that ride, Borderlands 4 launches on PC, PS5, Xbox Series XS, and Nintendo Switch 2 on September 12th. And another game that I know it's already buzzing already. I mean, it's blowing up on the Steam charts ahead of its launch tomorrow. And after being teased longer than a Half-Life 3 memes, Hollow Knight Silksong finally lands. So expect tight combat, absurdly fluid platforming, and enough bug bosses to make you want to call pest control. With over 200 enemies and 40 bosses, this game might end your social life in the most beautiful way possible. So time to peek at the trailer and see why everyone's about to disappear into a hole in their backlog.
It's finally here. Finally, we get Hollow
After
Knight.
8 years.
It's been so long that it's no longer coming out on the Wii U, even though that was a goal on the Kickstarter.
Yeah. I know, is that funny? But what's really, really surprised about it is it's showing up on a lot of different devices. I mean,
Yeah.
especially considering how Sony, even with their own, PS Premium, cloud streaming service, they've been talking about going into the new year, they're going to be moving on from, releasing more PS4 titles. And I guess the good news is Hollow Knight Silksong is available on the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch. Not just the Nintendo Switch 2, Henrik, the Nintendo Switch. So they're showing love everywhere. Oh, and by the way, the Xbox One as well. So this game is this is a multi-platform success.
Yeah,
Before the game even
100%.
drops. And so I think that's really, really cool. I mean, the fact that there is literally 40 bosses. I mean, wait, hello? 40 bosses? I mean, that doesn't even seem real. And so I'm very much looking forward to having some fun with this because I feel like, platforming games have really made quite a wave this year alone. And so to see, Hollow Knight, kind of, they're hoping to make that grand return, and we'll see whether they can, hold the sword up and, take charge when it comes to, maybe a potential conversation for Game of the Year nominee.
I'm sure it'll be talked about in the Game Awards, if not at the Game Awards for Game of the Year specifically.
Right. And so, yeah, I mean, you guys, we can all have fun because it's going to be releasing tomorrow. So Hollow Knight Silksong launches on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, Nintendo Switch 2, and PC alongside a launch on Game Pass on September 4th. See, that
All
was
these
quite the
choices,
mouthful.
you have no excuse to not play it.
If I don't read it like that, it ain't multi-platforming. Or we shouldn't even consider it a multi-platform game. But the last game that definitely needs to be on your radar is Silent Hill F. Marks the real first shot at a traditional Silent Hill game since 2012. So fans are cautiously holding their flashlights. And, they're ditching it for the same old, it ditches the same old formula for a new Japanese setting with the younger protagonist, which is either refreshing or nightmare-inducing. So if Konami doesn't fumble it, this might finally put Silent Hill back on the horror map instead of just like on t-shirt merch, okay? We don't want to see that happen. So let's check it out, the trailer, and see if Silent Hill F is really crawling back from the fog.
I'm so happy for this. I mean, I'm a big horror fan, and this really seems like Konami's going back to the roots of like the Silent Hill 2 era, where they're really trying to delve into the psychological type of horror as well as just body horror.
Yeah.
And I love that. That means that they have a chance to redeem themselves after the last couple of Silent Hill games that were not very good.
Yeah, especially when you look at some of that gameplay that was being shown on that trailer, you just feel like I'm gonna be leaning my joystick so further north. You know what I mean? Thinking like if I push harder, maybe she'll start running. I feel like it's gonna restrict you so much. It's gonna be kind of like what we've been seeing from even some of the gameplay from Resident Evil Requiem, where it's gonna feel like, yeah, the suspense is going to definitely build up because you're not going to be able to run away fast. And I kind of get that. And like a lot of it is like, oh my God, F this. No pun intended to the Silent Hill F. You're going to be like, I want to go. I got to get out of here. I got to go. And like, it's so slow. And I love that last shot in the trailer where it's like, wait, it's herself that's chasing her this entire time. And I love that they're not giving too much away with the story. Like they're really allowing the fans of the franchise and potential newcomers to just kind of go in like an open book and just kind of discover it on their own. And I'm hoping it really, really does land. And yeah, I mean, are you going to be playing it on August? Oh, excuse me, I don't even have the right. It's September 26th, I believe. Oh my gosh, I just realized on my side of the notes I got it all butchered. Yep, it's actually I lied. This game is going to be dropping on September 25th. PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. I realized my notes here weren't right. Hey, thank you. We got it right in the end for all y'all gamers. And so, yeah, these are the top 3 games that we definitely highly recommend you keep on your radar in the month of September. And if there is a game that we're completely missing, let us know what's good. We want to know what the gamers are playing this month. And so, HenricK, speaking of games that never seem to run out of ammo, Hollywood just locked and loaded something big. Break it down.
Paramount just locked in a deal with Activision to turn Call of Duty into a full-on movie franchise, with CEO David Ellison calls a dream come true partnership. So we'll really see if it's a dream come true. I mean, considering well, it's Call of Duty, so but you know the name does sell, and with 500 million copies sold and 16 years as America's best-selling series, Hollywood clearly smelled the kill streak coming. From World War II to the far future, they've told it all. And the series has covered every single era at this point, it feels like. And now, let's see if gamers think this blockbuster deal is a headshot or a misfire.
Yeah, I am so curious on what some of the gamers are about to say. Me, when the post-credit scene is Call of Duty Zombies. Oh, no. Dude, if I saw that at the end of a Call of Duty movie, I'd be like, where are we going with this franchise?
Yeah,
but then again, is that something you would want to see?
Hey, I thought you guys said you were going to cut it with the goofy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of, what would you want to see happen from the Call of Duty? Would you want it to branch out and not be so realistic to warfare, or and do what everybody's calling for, like Battlefield 6, and get away from the Beavis and Butthead? I mean, what happens if Nicki Minaj just drops in with her hot pink outfit and she's like, yeah, bitches, let's get those zombies.
Think about peak Call of Duty. Peak Call of Duty was not the goofiness. Peak Call of Duty was when people wanted it to be serious because it was serious. I know we'll probably have a comment talking about what I'm talking
so you
about
want a
too,
Zero Dark 30 kind of a movement, not what this comment is suggesting. But then I speak for all of us when I say we need, obviously there's going to be gamers out there that are going to be calling for a certain entourage, to show up and assemble on screen. I feel like this wouldn't happen anytime soon. What is this?
Probably not.
What is this? The Avengers showing up out of nowhere, and they're like, "Yeah, we got you now, you evil Nazi zombies." And then the next comment we got here is breaking. Bella Ramsey officially cast as Frank Woods in the Call of Duty movie. I know everybody's just been clowning this girl like crazy. I mean, I thought she did a fantastic job in the The Last of Us series, and it's gonna be very I'm very curious on what season 3 is going to be like, especially considering we don't need to get into it now, but because we've already discussed it way too many times here live on Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show. But there's some things that we liked about the series, and then there's some turn of direction where it's like, can't you just stick to what the actual video game presented to you? I mean, it's already written there, but it is kind of wild when you have also Neil Druckmann there producing the film, and he's even approving the shaky changes. And yeah, and that's kind of why I wonder where Call of Duty movie's going to go. And you got to wonder if they go for a cinematic adventure or universe, excuse me, or make a bunch of standalone stuff that goes into different eras of war so they can keep it creative. That would actually be kind of wild. But then how successful was that for you, HenricK, when you went to go see the new Jurassic Park movie? Did you like that they did that standalone movie with Scarlett Johansson, or did you feel like it works better when you do another revival of a trilogy like they did with Chris Pratt?
Yeah, I actually feel like the new Jurassic Park movie has some merit to it, but it doesn't hold even a candle to the first Jurassic World, which by itself already doesn't hold much of a candle to the originals. So that really means that the movie's not that great at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, I wasn't really vibing with it. I mean, it felt like it was missed. And so, I mean, but then again, I mean, that would be kind of wild. I mean, they could tell different stories amongst the Call of Duty universe, but then it's like, would you want it to all tie in together?
Yeah, I don't think that's fans of the series would be really happy about that, though. You know, like even if they told the stories really well, people would be like, oh, great. Now I got to go buy the games to play the campaign, if it even has one. And then I also have to go watch a movie to stay up to date with what's going on. Even worse if they do tie-ins, which they'll probably won't want to do between the video games and the movies.
Right. Or they just have to showcase a certain, like, you know, futuristic warfare that showed up in Advanced Warfare or some shit like that. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, there's our little Easter egg.
Yeah.
See, we pleased everybody. But then you get comments like this. All they have to effing do is just make the original Modern Warfare trilogy if they want this to work. And I think, I think that's very, very fair to say. But then you also get, you know, announcements like Krager, you know, the director for Weapons, and he's taken on Capcom's Resident Evil movie. And he also was just making news the other day where he was like, listen, we're going to be setting this in Raccoon City. It's going to feel more like Resident Evil 2 and 3, but it's going to have a more aesthetic feel like Resident Evil 4, which is based off in Spain. And then, you know, even before we jumped on air, you know, they're getting ready to start shooting that film in Prague. So it's like, where are they going with this? I mean, I know a lot of people want to see Leon and, you know, the rest of the Motley crew. And so if it's not sticking directly to the story, how is that going to resonate with gamers? Yeah, I don't know. How you vibing with it? Should they actually stick, you know, verbatim, you know, with this comment, HenricK, or should they kind of branch out, maybe still have those characters that we all know, but tell a different story?
No, I do think they should actually just follow the original Modern Warfare trilogy, because that's where it was the most popular.
Yeah. I mean, and then you get a last comment like this. They can do anything they want, but please use the same actors as the game. This has huge potential. Yeah, I mean, it's going to get really interesting whether they want to decide on that lead, HenricK. And so Call of Duty is officially headed to Hollywood, but what would you actually want to see from a movie? I mean, would you like to see a nonstop action flick, or I don't know, like that A24 film Warfare, where it felt like it was a 2-hour camping session in a corner with the sniper rifle? What would you like to see?
Okay, well, I've thought about this a little bit, and I was thinking, okay, well, if they do the original Modern Warfare trilogy or movies kind of like that, then think about it. What was the most standout moment in Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3?
Well, definitely,
it's
always
the
the betrayals. Yeah.
Well, actually, that's a good point. Yeah, the Shepard betrayal in 2 is a classic moment of people having their favorite character, for some of them, get shot in the back, basically.
Yep.
But no, I mean, I would say in terms of like the spectacle, though, like for Modern Warfare 1, it's the nuke. For Modern Warfare 2, it's the EMP scene. And for Modern Warfare 3, it's the Eiffel Tower collapsing. Yeah. So you got to have, I almost feel like you have to have something like that, some sort of big spectacle that it's built up to. and you could easily do, the same ones as those 3 games, but once you expire those 3 options, you got to
But
think
that's
of
like
other
what we
things
heard
too.
from the HBO series with The Last of Us, where they were so concerned that gamers were already going to know what was going to come. But then other gamers were like, no,
Yeah,
we want you to keep it
but
truly authentic because the gamers that
yeah,
are not
they want to
gamers,
see that.
they want them to experience the same kind of ride that we all had. And
Hmm.
so I guess my next
Yep.
question for you is, HenricK, it's like, should we add a director's note? Like, maybe step one, play the game before yelling action. Oh, I don't know. Maybe like the Amazon showrunner that's taking the charge for God of War is like, yeah, I tried to play the game, and yeah, we want to use the same father-son relationship, but yeah, me actually going through and completing the game, probably not. I'll just have notes thrown at me. I think that's where I have a little bit of a problem. And, the video game IP has become such a prized asset for film and TV executives, with homegrown original franchises still hard to come by. And obviously Paramount with Skydance is chasing that money flow because old money is old money. They want that new printed money. You know what I mean? And Universal and Illumination have turned Nintendo Super Mario games into $1 billion film franchise, which is just incredible. And they want to
Right.
see that same success.
But at the same time, Chris, those are, I would say, games typically also, but kids movies. And not to say that a non-kids movie that's based on a video game can not be successful. It can definitely be successful, but you have to do it right. And with Call of Duty, it feels like a lot of the things that they put effort into is just cash grabs. They put the minimal amount of effort and then they say, the name will sell itself. Well, yes, maybe it sells when it comes
That's why
to
it was.
video
That's
games.
why it was a quote
But
unquote
this
dream
is a
come
new
true.
industry you're trying to break into.
He's like,
So
he knows that even just with the title alone, they're going to be making money, whether the game flops or not. It could be the next G.I. Joe, and we're all excited. We're like, what the hell was that we just
Yeah.
saw on screen? Or, you're going to see even crazier stuff. I mean, gamers, you might have forgot this. There's a Japanese gaming company. You might have heard of them. They're called Sony. They're doing the same thing for The Legend of Zelda coming up. Oh, wait, yeah, Sony didn't make The Legend of Zelda. That was Nintendo. So, like, everybody's teaming up together to try to, make their iconic video game franchises come to life. And, Paramount already does have a hit. All right, hit. You know which one that one is? Gamers? I'll give you a
it
few
was
seconds.
Halo. It was.
Oh, damn it. I can't believe you went there. I can't believe you went there.
You
You
didn't think
actually
about
just
that
stumped
one, did
me
you?
for a second. You just stumped me. Yeah, because we all wanted the best from Halo. And oh my
But
gosh,
I know
can't-
you're probably talking about Sonic, right?
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
it's like Sonic the Hedgehog. You totally stumped me. I was like, oh my god. I had that completely rewired and out of my head.
Don't worry, I
But
forgot about it too until
now I'm
you just
rewired to
mentioned Paramount.
self-destruct. Yeah, and so it's totally crazy. And then also, we have more films based on games coming out pretty soon. We got Street Fighter, we got Mortal Kombat 2, Metal Gear Solid, and Elden Ring also in line for film treatments just in the next few years. And so, yeah, it's really wild. And obviously, Sophie Turner, you might have known her from the Game of Thrones series. She just got confirmed as Lara Croft in the next Amazon TV series. So there are a lot of things cooking up. And yeah, Paramount has inked a number of major deals since, Skydance, assumed control of the company last month. Some of those things are a $7.7 billion deal for the UFC rights. They also took from Netflix the creators of Stranger Things and signed them to an exclusive multi-year deal. So Paramount's cooking. They're cooking up with their streaming services, but they don't want to see it just on streaming. They want to see it branch out to the box office.
On the big screen.
And so I guess that leads with you, the gamers. Do you find the Call of Duty movie franchise being a major success for the studio? And then the second part really is, what kind of film would you like to see come from this iconic IP? Would you want to see it be a nonstop action flick? Would you like it to be kind of a slow burner like I joked around, like the A24's Warfare? Let us know what's good. But yeah, HenricK, I don't know. Did you want to say a final thought, or you good on that?
No, I'm good on that. I know we got some big news to still talk about, so let's go on and move on.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like August 26th, 2025 might just be the day gaming history, hits the wait. what just happened button? I mean, for the first time ever, Gears of War Reloaded stomped onto the PlayStation 5 while Helldivers 2 parachuted onto the Xbox Series XS, leaving fans questioning reality and their console loyalty. So social media erupted faster than a loot box opening. And let's just go ahead and dive right on into the chaos. And so the first comment reads here, damn, Xbox has a Helldivers banner and PlayStation has Gears of War. Is this the end of the console wars? I know.
Yeah,
Who
it's
hacked into
really
these
crazy
social
to
media
see.
accounts? Yeah, it doesn't feel real at all, right? I mean, it's like if you told me back when we were originally playing Gears of War, especially when everything was so elite back then, it was like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Do you really want that multiplayer experience with Gears of War and Halo? Or do you want the iconic storytelling that Sony brings? Because I always felt like that's what it was growing up. I could be totally wrong. I don't know how you
No, I mean,
Henry.
yeah, it was pretty much that. It was like either you choose an Xbox if you want to play Halo and a bunch of shooters, or you play Sony games if you want to have the more cinematic, over-the-shoulder Naughty Dog style game from
Yeah.
Uncharted or Last of Us, or if you really like Killzone. But who really likes Killzone like that?
I used to love Killzone. I can't believe you just threw a little subtle diss at that. That is so
it's just
funny.
like in comparison to the big games that
Okay, maybe
Xbox
just
had.
maybe just Killzone 1 and 2 excuse me, and the PSP version of the game. I think it was called Liberation. About that, Killzone 3.
But that was the whole
a
thing. It
little
was
bit
like
shaky.
back during the Xbox 360 and PS3 era, like people were neck and neck on both sides, just saying, no, but this side's better because we have these games. It's like, no, we have this over here though. We have Killzone. We have this game, and we're fine, you know.
Right. And
Yeah.
then it's like, is this the end of the console wars? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is clearly people are making memes where it's like, thank you for your alliance.
The clans are coming together.
Yeah, the clans. Yeah, no more tribalism. We will work together, fam. And then, oh God, no, we didn't have to go there. We understand that this
Chris,
is a
come
very
on.
nice relationship. Okay, we had one that's a business relationship, and then we had another one where we got a bunch of gooners. Okay, is that what's really going on behind the scene? Is that really what's going on? I don't know, fam. And then we also get, oh God, that's hilarious. Helldivers 2 and Gears of War Reloaded launching together on the PlayStation and Xbox. Who would have known that the Bloods and Crips would all come together? This is truly the end of gang warfare in the console generation. And then the next comment reads, as an Xbox player, new arrival, amazing game. The atmosphere is top notch, and it's such a treat to play. And that is speaking on Helldivers 2, which, yeah.
Could
I mean,
honestly
you're
be
getting
for either of them.
No, absolutely.
You
But yeah, I mean, it's like, but you know, compared to the two, the longevity is going to last a lot longer when it comes to Helldivers 2, I would
Oh
say.
yeah,
And so,
they're really cooking with that game.
they are really, really cooking. And then the last comment reads, it's almost like letting everyone play your game is a good thing. But we have to discuss what everybody is talking about, right? I mean, could this be the moment that Sony and Xbox finally team up to end the console wars as we know them growing up? Or are gamers still kind of clutching their controllers like it's 2005?
Well, like that last comment said, it's almost like giving people choices makes you money. Because yes, people like having the choice of being, you know what, I have my PS5 already, let me play some Halo, which is coming. Or I have my PS5, I want to play some Gears, or I want to play it on my PC, I don't have the consoles. You know, it's just you're leaving cash on the table in a sense because you're not tapping into the player base of these platforms that you're locking out of not being able to play just because they don't have your hardware. And we've seen already a lot of these consoles are sold at a loss a lot of the time because they have to be, because otherwise it doesn't make sense to make it, to manufacture it. It's too much money to cost it out where it would actually be profitable. It would be way too expensive for people. People would look at the PS5 Pro sell price right now as it being expensive, but if they were actually selling it like how much it was worth to put it together, it would be probably close to $1,000, which would really turn people off from buying it in the first place.
Yeah, no, I think those are all fair points. I truly don't think the console war is ending anytime soon. I mean, just because we're looking at these two games, we're like, oh my gosh, one's wearing another banner over another. It's like, no, Sony and Xbox are going to continue to be pushing out exclusive windows. I'm sure there's going to be another state of play coming up. Like I know they were showing the new James Bond 007. It looks fantastic, but there's already rumors that the next state of play is going to be Marvel's Wolverine, and I can bet your ass right now it is going to be exclusive to the PS5. It will shock me if it's not. And they're going to hold it for like a 2 to 3 year window like they always do. And then it's going to release on the PC, maybe for the Xbox lovers. But,
that's from Sony, though. So they kind of have the opportunity in a way to do that just because of the fact that they did technically win over Xbox this past generation in terms of sales. I still don't think it's going to be a good choice for them to make exclusives, but they probably are going to want to.
Are you sure about that? You don't think that's a good idea? You want to tell that to Nintendo Switch too?
You know what? I don't think it's a good idea for Nintendo to do it either. They're
already showing that like
90%. Everywhere.
They're already saying that 90% of Switch 2 gamers own the Mario Kart World, and maybe that has to do with
when
the
it comes in a
packaging.
bundle. You might as well buy it. I mean, you
but
have
it
to buy a
also
game
is wild
anyways.
that people are spending $80 to $90 on exclusive games, and Nintendo's clearly like, well, why should we stop this now? I mean, originally, remember they were always getting pushed as like, maybe we should bring Mario to the mobile device. Maybe not the entire game, but maybe we'll give you a little platform kind of style of game. Like to them, that's like about non-exclusive to Nintendo. So until like Nintendo starts changing their ways, maybe I'll start to consider it to be like a win for the end of console wars and multi-platforming. But it's also like we joked with Hollow Knight. Silk Song. I mean, it's showing up on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. Maybe not the Wii. Sorry, guys. But, I mean, that's pretty incredible to be able to be like, we know that this kind of style of game could still play on an old device, and we want to still bring it to you. That's a win for multi-platforming. And to me, that feels like the end of a console war. Instead of being like you were saying, yeah, we know that we still have consoles that we need to sell, so we're going to restrict it to a certain device, even though we know that it can still run on a PS4. You're like, what? What are we doing? But then again, we want to know from you, the gamers. Do you truly feel like this is the end of the console wars that we know growing up, or are we just still clutching onto those controllers like it's 2005? We're like, gosh, why is it still have to be like this?
That mindset of like, I have to have a PlayStation or I have to have an Xbox, and if I don't have those, I'm just not a gamer, or
I'm losing out. I'm losing out on the games that I want to play. Yeah. No, absolutely. It's so fair enough, man. And so let's see what's good. Oh, let's get that off the screen. But all right, HenricK, speaking of classics that never get old, I'll toss it over to you to break down what's still standing strong in the gaming world.
Well, Reddit wants gamers to dig deep into their memory banks and answer the ultimate flex question. What game holds up well a decade after its release? A decade! That's 10 years, guys. Keep that in mind.
That reminds me of that one Twitch video. I can't remember. Oh, gosh. Oh, it don't matter. But the guy's like, yeah, I know what a century is. And he said 10 years. And I was like, oh, my gosh, dude. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, just keep that in mind. But naturally, gamers are lining up to brag about their timeless favorites because nothing says, I'm a true gamer, like a game that refuses to age. And I know a lot of people said Skyrim for this one.
Hey, you might be surprised. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and see what the internet has to say.
Yeah, let's dive right on in. The first one that we got here is, oh, wow, I'm very surprised. Actually, showcased.
Dying Light is a good choice.
Some folks in this thread about to have a harsh realization that a decade ago is 2015, not 2005.
Yeah, I had to think about that too when I chose my choice.
Right? So Dying Light gets my vote. It not only still plays better than its troubled sequel, it also remains one of the best open-world zombie games out there. Yeah, does it still live up to this day, HenricK? You feel that way still?
No, yeah, I do think so, especially considering that I believe the publisher or developer is Techland. They kept updating the game for the longest time. Into how long they typically do for games that are single player, mostly like this.
Yeah.
So I respect that. It means that people have a reason to come back.
But more updates than No Man's Skies. I mean, I was
Not to that extent.
I'm very surprised by this take. I was not expecting Dying Light to make this list. But hey, if it satisfies you and the rest of the 504 people that upvoted it, hell yeah, man. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
gaming is all about. And then the next one is, this is one of my personal
I know
favorites.
you agree with this one. Yeah.
Batman
I agree
Arkham
too,
Knight
though.
for sure. I mean, the graphics are on another level and still look great compared to the AAA games today. Gameplay loop is addictive and fun as hell. It is truly fun as hell.
Yeah,
It never
it
gets old to
really-
bash your enemies in.
It says something when people still go back and play it, and also when people go back and play it and compare it to Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and say, what happened?
Yeah, why is it so bright? Why is there still a night out? Can we make it a little bit darker around here? Yeah, I love the whole aesthetic of this game. All the villains are iconic. Mark Hamill did such an excellent job.
As the
being the
Joker.
Joker.
Yeah.
Oh, it's incredible. And obviously, the Batman voiceover actor, rest in peace. But, he
Kevin
really,
Conrad.
exactly, really brought, the Night Crusader to life. It's amazing what they did with Batman. And then the next game we got here is The Witcher 3. Wins Hal. And yeah, I mean, this
Yeah.
this
I'm
game
playing
keeps
through it
showing
right
up.
now.
Right. Like you were referencing
Hey.
last week.
Yeah, they had that. I want to say it was a couple years ago. They had a new update for next gen graphics, so there's a reason to go back into it on the new consoles and on your not PlayStation, PC.
Yeah.
You have it on any of those. Might as well go and jump back into it. And CD Projekt Red keeps bringing it up in more and more conversations. So I know there's some rumors going around a little bit right now, feeling like people are expecting some sort of new content for it. I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, no.
But that shows how much people still like the game. That it's showing up in conversations.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then you get Doom 2016 is still one of the best shooters ever released. Yeah, that
it's really
really
good.
set the tone for the excitement for the Doom series all over again. I mean, yeah, it's really hard to play the old school games. Yeah, we still admire it. Yeah, we're still shocked that it can show up on a PDF file and you can play the old school games. But Doom 2016, it's so freaking good. I mean,
Also
I had a
has
blast.
one of the best soundtracks of that
Yes.
year. Specifically,
Yeah, the metal
different
composer.
tracks, but like BFG Division in particular is still a classic to go back and listen to, and just be thinking in your head, Mick Gordon was really cooking with this.
Really, really good, man. It's fantastic work all the way around. And then Alien Isolation is almost a decade from its release. Yeah, I mean,
and
this
it
is
still scares the Jabezus out of people.
Yeah, and it's like, like we always joke with this kind of style of game. It's like it's got something about that green tint, almost like that lime wire green tint that's all around this game. It's just like, it's so eerie, so spooky, and yeah, you're gonna want to play with the lights on.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that actually helps. HenricK. I mean, this game is horrifying. I mean, yes, I recommend playing it over and over again, but it's a tough to play. I mean, it still gets very scary, and you can never anticipate what's going to come every time you play this game. And then the last one we got here is Mad Max. So good and so underrated. Yeah, when I first saw this, I was like, Mad Max? What game are they talking about? And then I was like, oh yeah, Mad Max. This game actually was very much a sleeper. It was a really, really good game. If no one's actually picked that thing up, I think it's always on sale all the time. That game doesn't get old anytime soon.
Oh, it
So
really
yeah,
doesn't. Yeah.
this is an incredible list right so far, even though the Dying Light I was a little surprised by. But which game do you dust off a decade later and it still hits harder than your morning coffee, HenricK?
So I was taking a moment to really think about this because there's so many great choices, but I'm gonna go with Soma, the 2015 game from Frictional Games.
Yeah.
And I say that because Frictional Games has done a few different horror games at this point. They're most well known for the Amnesia series, but Soma, I would actually say Soma holds up more so than the Amnesia series does. Looking back at them, based solely just on the concept of it, because it really delves into the psychological horror aspect of what really is human consciousness and what makes someone human. And that in itself is such a big question that gets answered by the game, or at least attempts to be answered by the game. It really leaves it up to your interpretation at the end, but I recommend people to play that because it is a experience that you will probably hold with you for a while.
No, it's
Even
a
though it's a horror
fantastic
game.
game. That game is so freaking good. No, I love
Yeah.
that select.
Yeah.
That's a great choice, HenricK. I gotta go with this one. When I typed in, hey, give me a refresh on all the games that dropped in 2015, and this was like a no-brainer. Fallout 4. I mean, that game
Oh, okay.
is
Yeah.
basically what redefined what it meant to wander around a nuclear wasteland while hoarding, bottle caps like they were Bitcoin, right? I mean, the open world storytelling, the freedom to build and explore and, maybe accidentally nuke your own settlement made this the post-apocalyptic sandbox of its time. And, let's be honest, gamers. Without Fallout 4 success, there is no way we'd have a hit of a TV adaptation today like we do. And no, it wasn't because of Fallout 76. It does not get that credit.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing had more. Let's just put it this way: Fallout 76 was more radioactive than the glowing sea. So Fallout 4 is so freaking good; it never gets old. And now that I'm thinking about it, I might have to start a new launch. I might have to just go explore the wasteland.
Watch
I'm gonna have
out,
to
Chris
log
is going to
off
be
YouTube.
stuck playing a game for another 100 hours.
Yeah, exactly, right? Find me in my bunker, my man cave. But we want to know from you, what's a game that still holds up a decade ago? I mean, it's insane to think like that, because some of the games you're going to be very, very surprised. You're going to be like, oh my God, my age is showing. My age is showing. Oh my gosh, what the hell is happening? But yeah, we want to hear from you, the gamers. Is there a game out there that is like so freaking badass that holds up still to this day? Let us know what's good. But man, this has been such a jam-packed show on Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show, and we can't thank you, the gamers, for always tuning in live every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because without your support, gamers, this show would not be possible. And so we just want to take a moment for anybody that hasn't liked, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do your thing. This will lead you directly to my YouTube channel.
I like how you said, do your thing, because everyone should know at this point. The QR code comes up, you scan it. It goes to our YouTube channels. This one in particular, it goes to mine, where there's tons of content just waiting to be watched. So go watch some. Leave some comments. Let me know how I'm doing. You like something? You don't like something? Let me know.
That's right, and you're definitely going to want to be subscribing to HenricK the Rex YouTube channel, because, we have a little bit of an announcement, nothing to be scared about, nothing. But, HenricK, you're about to have some fun. What you going to be doing for the next 6 weeks?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be going to Korea, and for a week while I'm out in Korea, I'm also going to be in Japan. And so I'm going to be seeing a lot of new things. I've never been to those countries, so plenty to explore and plenty to see. And I'm sure I'll see some games when I'm out in Korea and also in Japan, so might see some videos from me.
That's right. So we are going to be still continuing strong with Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show live every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And don't fear, your boy Chris Collins will still continue the charge. But HenricK's going to be having some fun. We're going to be seeing him out in the wild. He will still be very present amongst the show, even though it might be a little, quick glimpse here and there. But, we all got to have our downtime. We all got to have some fun. And HenricK the Reck is going to be blowing up the scene in Korea and Japan. And so if we have any international gamers out there, reach out. I'm sure HenricK would definitely link up with you, only if you give him the free sushi and rice. No, just kidding. Lots of beer. That's what you like. You want lots of beer. Lots of Sapporo. Don't worry. We're going to be continuing along with Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show while HenricK is going to be off air for a little bit. I'm so jelly for you. I had a blast in Tokyo, Japan, back when, I think it was like 4 or 5 years out now. And so, yeah, you're going to have such a blast. So stoked for you. And just trust me, I will do us justice. We'll keep the show afloat.
I'm leaving it in good hands.
That's right. And for now, for you, the gamers, have some fun. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. And we will see you around, fam. Peace.